Yeah, I hear him say that he's a media channel. Yeah, I hear him say that he's a media channel. Yeah, I hear him say that he's a media channel. Yeah, I hear him say that he's a media channel. Yeah, I hear him say that he's a media channel. 对的，也是谁了？你说你的这个，对的，也是谁了？你说你的这个，对的，也是谁了？你说你的这个，对的，也是谁了？你说你的这个，对的，也是谁了？你说你的这个， Io non so, mi sono venuto a cercare. Io non so, mi sono venuto a cercare. Io non so, mi sono venuto a cercare. Io non so, mi sono venuto a cercare.
The ceremony is being filmed and the edited video will be available to download in February 2022. Can you please ensure that all mobile phones, any pagers, digital watches are turned off, please? In the unlikely event of an emergency, and should we need to evacuate the building, guests should leave by the nearest available exits. Guests requiring assistance will be escorted. Once you've left the venue, please follow the directions of the stewards who will guide you to the nearest assembly point. The ceremony will commence shortly. We ask that you do not leave the venue once the ceremony has begun. Thank you. Sarah, is that you? I can hear a very faint request. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the arrival of the Principal's procession.
Please take your seats. Distinguished guests, parents and friends, on behalf of the college, I am delighted to welcome you to Royal Holloway on this very important occasion, our graduation ceremony. It is wonderful to see so many people here for this unique occasion. We welcome those of you who are visiting for the first time, as well as those returning to a place that has become familiar. And to you all, we extend a very warm welcome. We hope you enjoy this ceremony and have a memorable and happy day. So during this afternoon ceremony, graduates from the School of Law and Social Sciences will be presented to the Principal, Professor Julie Sanders. The first group of graduates will be awarded a postgraduate diploma or master's degree. And these graduates have studied at postgraduate level for at least 1 year and have either taken their studies to the boundaries of existing knowledge in their academic field or studied in an area of professional or occupational theory and practice at a high level. They will be followed by graduates who will be awarded the degree of Master or Doctor of Philosophy. Each of their research topics has made an original contribution to knowledge through the discovery of new facts and the exercise of independent critical judgment. In addition, at this ceremony, we will also be awarding an honorary degree of the University of London to the Lord Hogan Howe Queen's Police Medal. Please remain in your seats for the duration of the ceremony. The order of presentation is set out in the graduation programme. I now call upon the Executive Dean of the School of Law and Social Sciences, Professor Matthew Humphreys.
Today, we recognise and celebrate the achievements of our students who have studied in the School of Law and Social Sciences. Our students study courses in criminology, economics, forensic psychology, law, politics and international relations, philosophy, social work and sociology. Our Department of Law and Criminology is home to the study of criminology, forensic psychology, law, sociology and social work. The department is strongly focused on the institutions and systems that provide the backbone of our justice and social systems: prisons, youth services, probation services, and of course the courts and institutions of state. Our staff research and teach the fundamental concepts of justice, law and society, which combine to produce the governance and structures that provide benefits to us all. In our politics, international relations and philosophy department, students are taught by academics whose teaching and research is global in its scope and impact. Academic research in politics was recently assessed as being of outstanding quality, and politics at Royal Holloway came second nationally in the recently published Research Excellence Framework. The department is home to the college's Gender Institute and has a strong commitment to equality and to combating global inequalities through our research and teaching, in particular problems of public policy, the political world around us, and more traditional aspects of focus, such as the study of democracy, elections, and political ideas. Our Department of Economics is dynamic and outward-looking. The discipline of economics is ultimately a practical one that carries the potential to improve policy and contribute to society over a wide range of issues. Economics is far more than money and banking, and we are constantly updating our courses in economics. This year we recruited to a new undergraduate programme in economics and data science, and we have a new master's programmes in health economics starting next year. The quality of academic work at Royal Holloway in economics was also recognised in the recent Research Excellence Framework when it came 7th for Research Impact and 11th for Research Overall in results published in May this year. Our social work courses are practice-based, and our diverse staff and students reflect our commitment to inclusion and our participation in social work education. We are committed to developing effective social workers for the most vulnerable in our society. A degree from this school and at Royal Holloway opens many doors to our graduates to take up positions in public or private institutions, including many roles in major companies as well as the voluntary sector. Our students go on to fulfil employment aspirations that are wide-ranging and diverse, from the legal profession and opportunities within the criminal justice sector more broadly, social work and social care, to successful careers within the cultural and heritage industries and within publishing, marketing and the media, to key areas of governmental policy such as those of climate change, migration and sustainable development, and to areas within the world of business and finance. It is now with great pleasure that we move to the presentation of graduates.
I call upon the head of the Department of Law and Criminology, Professor Robert Jago.
Principal, I would like to present graduates from the Department of Law and Criminology. For the award of Master of Arts degrees in Consumption, Culture and Marketing. Megan Keeble, for the prize of highest final overall average. Kirsten Nair. Ashley Penfold. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Advanced Practice, Leadership and Management. Michael Hughes. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Forensic Psychology. Simran Baines. Connie Barnes. Chloe Burgess. Flaminia Sitivenga. Zara Dukan. Ryan Forster. Camille Holt. Ashley Hunt. Swati Janahadanan. Abigail Johnson. Charlotte Laver. Alana Maskell. Eleanor Nicholas. Davika Palmer. Gabriella Pastor. Safa Raja. Kiara Shehu. Montel Shoamino. Geraldine Teng. Karina Webb. Shona Wooten. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Social Work. Sally Bevan. Lucy Enenmo. Abby Holmes. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Terrorism and Counter-Terrorism Studies. Khalil Alavi. Jasneet Baines. Benjamin Brooks. Eleanor Diath. Toby Hanks. Maisie Laslett. Hannah Nelson. Thomas Sad. Ellie Sanders. Tulasi Senaraja. Abdul Yusuf. For the award of Doctors of Philosophy degrees in Criminology and Sociology. For the thesis entitled, When I Tried to Go On to MLG Peppa Pig and You Said I'm Not Allowed, a qualitative sociological analysis of how the use of family surveillance products shape and are shaped by parenting and childhood in the UK, supervised by Professor Ravinder Barn and Dr. Benedetta Cappellini, Courtney Hagan Ford. For the award of Doctor of Professional Studies degrees in Health and Social Care Practice. with a thesis entitled Social Work for Better Mental Health, an action research study looking at mental health social work and professional development and leadership in a locality multidisciplinary team. Supervised by Professors Frank Keating and Tony Evans, Jacob Daly. That concludes the presentation of graduates from the Department of Law and Criminology.
I would now like to call upon the head of the Department of Economics, Professor Dan Anderberg.
Principal, I would like to present graduates from the Department of Economics for the award of Master of Science degrees in Corporate Finance. Harry Valens. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Economics. Ruben Behrman. Sandeep Odedra. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Economics 2-year program. Augustin Nieri. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Finance. Mohammed Afsar. Kia Kermani. Danila Polyakov. For the award of Doctors of Philosophy degrees in Economics. For the thesis Essays on Labor Market Dynamics, supervised by Professor Jonathan Wadsworth and Dr. Etra Preshnikova, Michael Simmons. For the thesis Essays on Entrepreneurship, supervised by Professor Robert Sauer, Katharina Wiesemeyer. That concludes the presentation of graduates from the Department of Economics.
Our choral scholars will now perform Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Christmas, do hearts polite. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Yes, out of sight. Have a merry Christmas. Do Yuletide, yea. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again as in olden days, happy golden days of fates allow. Until then, thought and through somehow, so have yourself a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas now.
I call upon the head of the Department of Politics, International Relations and Philosophy, Laura Sjoberg.
Principal, I would like to present the graduates from the Department of Politics, International Relations, and Philosophy. For the award of Masters of Arts degrees in European Philosophy, Gabrielle Jones. Kim D'Souza. For the award of Masters of Arts degrees in Modern Philosophy, Robin Doby. For the award of Masters of Arts degrees in Political Philosophy, Oliver Calvin. Alex Jackson. Tanya Solomon. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Elections, Campaigns, and Democracy, James Bartley. Charlotte Hart. Frederick Jessen. Mustaf Mohammed Tahir. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in International Public Policy, Emma Haddock. Hannah Soraya. Abdul Basir Hatak. Amirali Khezri. Matilda Rentflesh. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in International Relations, Dahai Almerte. Jordan Dadral. Gabriele Darb Asali. Amelie Wallace. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in International Security, James Johnston. Vasil Lazarov. Sami Najar. Enes Neidhard. Isabel Thorpe. For the award of Masters of Science degrees in Media, Power, and Public Affairs, Bilal Abbas. Tanshri Bose. Fatima Bukhari. Rebecca Flynn. Roxanne Gerard. Natalia Jean. Ella Lawrence. Jamie Mortar. Rebecca Pollington. Callum Rowland. Teha Sandhu. Joseph Watson. Michael Williams. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy degree in Politics, with a dissertation called Negotiating Agency and Dependency in Africa's International Relations, How Ideologies Have Shaped Ghana's Foreign Policy Since Independence, supervised by Dr. Will Jones and Professor Julia Gallagher, Emmanuel Sia. That concludes the graduates from the Department of Politics, International Relations, and Philosophy.
We will now proceed with the award of the honorary degree of the University of London. Honorary degrees are conferred on persons of conspicuous merit, outstanding in their field, or those who have given exceptional service to the university. I call upon Professor Matthew Humphreys to present the Lord Hogan Howe for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Principal, it is my pleasure to present to you the Lord Hogan Howe Queen's Police Medal. We are here today to honour our distinguished guest's outstanding achievements during his career in the police force, where he rose to the position of Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, the most senior police officer of the largest force in the United Kingdom. His championing of the evidence-based development of policing, policy and processes and encouragement of academic research, which has led to his support for the work of the School of Law and Social Sciences here at Royal Holloway, is also inspirational to our students. Bernard Hogan Howe was born in Sheffield and raised single-handedly by his mother, Cecilia Hogan. They lived together in a slum clearance house close to Sheffield's famous stainless steel works, followed by council flats across the city. Cecilia overcame incredible hurdles to give him, in his own words, a wonderful childhood and a great start in life. After an original desire to become a doctor, he joined South Yorkshire Police in 1979. His first arrest was a 3 a.m. window-smashing drunk. The force spotted his potential and he was allowed to apply for an accelerated promotion course where other candidates were graduates. As he didn't have a degree, he was selected to study for a master's degree in law at Merton College, Oxford, and he graduated at the age of 31. He later went on to gain a postgraduate diploma in applied criminology at Fitzwilliam College, Cambridge, and an MBA from the University of Sheffield. Throughout the 1990s, Lord Hogan Howe rose through the ranks of the South Yorkshire Police Force. In 1997, he transferred to Merseyside Police as Assistant Chief Constable for Community Affairs and was appointed Chief Constable there in 2004. Lord Hogan Howe learnt to ride in Merseyside, spending Saturday mornings with a mounted division, riding and mucking out to overcome his fear of horses. He became so proficient that as Chief Constable, he led the Grand National Parade. During his 5-year tenure on Merseyside, Lord Hogan Howe enacted his call for a total war on crime, the result of which was a 36% reduction in crime. In 2003, his achievements were recognised with the Queen's Police Medal in the Queen's Birthday Honours List. In 2009, Lord Hogan Howe moved to become one of Her Majesty's Inspectors of Constabulary, and 2 years later, the Home Secretary announced his temporary appointment as Acting Deputy Commissioner following the resignation of the Commissioner, Sir Paul Stevenson. He became the Commissioner of Police of the Metropolis in September 2011, just 1 month after the large-scale London riots and when the force was in disarray. Lord Hogan Howe outlined his vision for total policing shortly after his appointment, seeking to promote total professionalism from the workforce, a total war on crime and total care for victims. With only months to prepare, he also successfully planned for and delivered a safe London 2012 Olympics and Paralympics. Leading an organisation of nearly 50,000 people with a budget of £3.2 billion, Lord Hogan Howe was directly accountable to the Home Secretary, supervised by parliamentary committees and had national responsibilities, which included leading counter-terrorism policing throughout the UK and protecting the royal family and senior members of the government, both at home and abroad, all while the national threat level was set at severe. Despite a budgetary loss of £600 million, Lord Hogan Howe also managed to maintain police officer numbers in the capital, while the rest of England and Wales lost 20,000 police. He is considered to have brought stability to the Metropolitan Police and began the process of restoring morale and public confidence in the force after a tumultuous period. Lord Hogan Howe was knighted in 2013 in the 2013 New Year's Honours List for services to policing, and later that year took up the role of patron of the national police charity, the Police Roll of Honour Trust. He retired in February 2017, and later that year was created a life peer, taking the title Baron Hogan Howe of Sheffield in the county of South Yorkshire. Lord Hogan Howe has a number of charity and consultancy roles, and he spoke at the launch of the School of Law and Social Sciences at Royal Holloway in 2019, showing his continued interest in and support of the academic research. In recognition, therefore, of his extensive achievements and leadership throughout his career in the police force, and as a role model for our students and wider university community, may I invite you, Principal, to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa of the University of London upon the Lord Hogan Howe Queen's Police Medal.
By decision of Council, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa of the University.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here this afternoon. First of all, to the Principal and the Council, thank you for this award. It's a great honour. I met your families, friends, a little before this ceremony started. As I pointed out to them, they deserve their award because they've all worked for it. And I've done absolutely nothing over the last few years to deserve this. But I really appreciate the fact that the university thought that I did. and I really do appreciate it. And what a wonderful place we've heard already about its excellence in terms of its credits, in terms of its research, and what wonderful buildings. I think it's a great testament to a fantastic academic institution. When I arrived here this afternoon, I had some excellent help in telling me where to go, what to do, as you might expect. As I drove in, the lady on the gate was very helpful and pointed out where I should drive to. I turned the corner, a guy in a yellow jacket said, "Oh, you need to park here." As I got out, he said, "You know, I'll take you around." So obviously I assumed that he knows why I'm here. Anyway, we walked around and said, "Well, how many graduates or how many people are there this afternoon?" He said, "Well, just the two of us." Well, this seemed a little bit odd. And we went on a bit further, and he said, "Well, I know we've spoken on the phone a lot." And I said, "Well, so you must be Neil." He said, "No, I'm Phil." I thought this was getting more and more confusing, but by the time we arrived at the front door, he realised that he thought I was Spencer. I don't know who Spencer is, but somebody's wandering around the car park. But since then, I've been incredibly well looked after. I have very little to say to you this afternoon. I promised the people behind the door, the people who've just received their awards, are sat behind this door, watching this, I hope. And I promised them that I'd speak for no more than a few minutes. And I'd make the same promise to you. First of all, I just want to say a few words about leadership. It was great to hear all the things that Matthew read out. It makes you feel a little bit like you've died. Or you're very near to it. But it's very kind of him to make all the comments that he did. My role in the police force was just my vocation. It's something I enjoyed doing every day. It wasn't hard work. There was hard times, but it wasn't hard work because I loved it. One of the things I was proudest of was making arrests at every rank. It was one of the things that I'd started with a drunk on London Road in Sheffield, and it's one of the things I finished with. But for me, there was no greater privilege than supporting the victim, arresting the person responsible, not to judge them, but because there was a process to go through. And if you could do neither of that, if you couldn't actually help the victim by arresting the suspect, then you could look after them to the best of your ability. And that was a simple basis on which we tried to create strategies over the succeeding years. But to me, it was a great privilege. And the only thing I would say to the graduates today is I hope that whatever they select for their professions in the future is something they love. Because I think if you do something you love, it's not really work. Of course, you put lots of work into it. But I think if you're going to look forward to going and working with the people you work with and doing the things that you do, then I think it's just a fantastic way to spend your life. I was fortunate in that sense, although I did change my career at the age of 22. I had gone to work in a laboratory, and then I joined the police. So I think whatever you choose at the beginning may or may not be the thing that you stick with. But if it's something that you're going to love, then I think it's a fantastic thing to do. The second thing I was just going to say was a little about leadership in the sense of, I guess that the people who we've all seen have their awards made today are going to play a leadership role in whatever organisations they go into. They're obviously academically incredibly able. They've got that persistence. They've carried on through the degree, and I think that's one of the measures of them. They've actually worked awfully hard, as you must have seen, and they've kept going, and they've succeeded. And that's what employers always look for. So it seems to me that there will be leaders in the future. And I'm not going to give you a great lecture about leadership because there are books written about it and the difference between management and leadership. But for me, leadership is about, first of all, having a good idea where you stand and what you stand for, what your values are and what you intend to achieve. Number two is about how you communicate that. If you can't explain to people what you stand for or what you'd like them to achieve, and the other side of communication, of course, is always listening. And certainly most of the best ideas I've had have been from the people I've worked with. Your task as a leader is to make sure that everyone is enabled to carry that out and to put the resources in the right place to achieve it. So I hope they're able to communicate very, very clearly. And then I hope that they just make the right decisions at the right time. I suppose most leaders, you hope, make more good decisions than bad. Every good leader will make bad decisions. But I think on the whole, people are looking to follow you, and they hope that your judgment's going to be okay. It's easy to be a leader, I think, when things don't need deciding. But when it gets to a fork in the road and no one knows what to do, someone's got to decide. It's at those points at which I think leaders earn their corn. They've got to set a vision, and then when it gets difficult, make the decisions that are going to make a difference in the future. And you hope that most you get right, but occasionally you will get them wrong, and you only get the support of the people you lead if they think you've made more good decisions, I guess, than bad, and that you've got them at your heart. I've got an awful lot more to say than that, other than I wish all the undergraduates today, first of all, congratulations. It's an incredible achievement to achieve what they've achieved at different levels, from postgraduate degrees, Doctors of Philosophy and PhDs. These are incredible achievements that only very few people in society will achieve. And I hope they appreciate just what they have achieved today, all that hard work they've put in. And the very final thing is just, I would just say thank you on their behalf, I guess, to all the people in this room. Because I can only guess what your relationships are. I suspect there are mums and dads, there may be sons and daughters, brothers, sisters, friends. And you will have played a part in what they've achieved already, and I hope, I'm sure, you'll play a part in what they are yet to achieve. And I hope they realise, the group through here, what you've already given for them, but I'm sure much more to come. So today's your day too. It's an awful lot of hard work on your part, a huge emotional commitment. And I hope that going forward from today, you share a fantastic life together, and that you really enjoy today, because you deserve it too. But thank you for listening.
That concludes the conferment of the honorary degree and the presentation of graduates at this ceremony. I now call upon the Principal to make a closing address.
Graduates, guests, and to our smallest and youngest guests who are probably hopeful of this ending quite soon, this is the final speech. It is truly wonderful to share this graduation ceremony with you and to celebrate the fantastic achievements of the graduating class of 2022. Graduation marks the end of your current studies, graduates, and allows an all too brief but special time to reflect and celebrate with your friends, your fellow graduates, your colleagues, family, carers, guardians, and to begin a transition into the next stage. This has been a crossing of a threshold, both physical and emotional here today, and I hope that the ceremony, for those of you watching, has been very meaningful for that reason. In getting to this point, graduates, many of you will have been supported, as we've heard, by parents, guardians, families, friends. So to everyone joining us today, whether here in person or online, you are all welcomed into the remarkable Royal Holloway global community. And that's a community that stretches from here on this beautiful, snowy Egham campus, our central London sites, and out to 120 countries represented by our vibrant international student community, who are truly inspirational, I have to say. I'm sure all of you, our guests, are as proud of our graduate success as you graduates are grateful to them. So supporters, thank you. Thank you for the difference you've made, and please be proud of your contribution today. Graduates, all of us here today very much hope that your new degree leads you on a career and a life path that is enjoyable and rewarding. But we also know that you now carry within you the spirit of Royal Holloway, which is all about making a positive contribution in the world. Many in your programs of study have actively engaged with global challenges, global issues and questions, often viewed through the lens of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or for short, the SDGs. So whether you've been thinking about energy transition and climate work, issues of justice and education, of human rights, of migration, the rights of refugee communities, health and well-being, inequalities, much else, and the legal context for so much of the frameworks for our days and our practices, we know you will use the superpower that is your degree to give back and to make a difference. And we at Royal Holloway will be walking alongside you every step of the way. In joining Royal Holloway myself recently, I found it immensely moving to feel the commitment of students and colleagues alike to the power of education and research to do good in the world, and the importance for us as a community of being a university of global social purpose. So I am sharing in these ceremonies, very briefly, the story of Charles Shaw. Charles Shaw was a potter, and he was born in Staffordshire in 1832, so just a few years actually before Bedford College came into being, and a few decades before Royal Holloway came into being. As a working class man of very limited means, he nevertheless prized the power of literacy and education in his life. In his later years, he set up a small study in his home. It measured just 3 feet by 4 feet, or just under a metre by 1.2 metres. And he fixed this up with an iron stove, a small desk, and 2 small bookshelves. "I don't know what a university atmosphere is," he wrote. "I have dreamt of it. But I know when I enter this little room at night, I am in another world." And reading in his room at night, Andrew Murphy, a scholar who researched Shaw's diary, described him talking of himself as a giant refreshed with new wine. Well, today we have been refreshed with the power of educational achievement, and we are witnessing bright futures in action. And for all the challenges of recent years, and I know they have been many, it is Charles Shaw's dream of a university education and atmosphere that you graduates now hold in your hands in the shape of that symbolic scroll which you received today, and the possibility of which you carry out into the world. So as we move to the conclusion of this formal part of today's ceremony, and you have the chance to spend time together with the tutors, the lecturers, the fellow students who were part of your journey to this point, let me once again reflect on that tremendous achievement and thank all the colleagues here who've contributed to and shared in that achievement. Those degree certificates are a testament to hard work, intellectual capacity, and perseverance. But as you ready yourselves to leave this beautiful, special place, those certificates and all they represent are statements of your potential, but also, as I know you know all too well, your responsibility in the world. So while celebrating what has been achieved, I hope each of you also find space to reflect on what is yet to be achieved. The past is a vital ingredient. It makes us all the people we are, but it is what comes next that will define you and that will be a crucial part of Royal Holloway's next chapter. Many have started full-time employment, others are undertaking a period of voluntary or humanitarian work, some may be taking a well-earned break, some time to think, some travelling to exciting new places, others continuing academic studies. Whatever your next steps, we wish you light, luck and love in your lives, and we know that you will make us proud. So make the world beautiful, because we know you can. So go, graduates, be phenomenal, be amazing, be kind, be productive, make a contribution to society, make a difference in the world. Thank you so much for being part of Royal Holloway today, tomorrow, and into the future. You are, quite simply, our greatest achievement, and we are so very, very proud of you. Thank you.
That concludes this afternoon's ceremony. Please could you remain in your seats until after the recession has departed. When you leave the venue, you'll be directed to the Founders Dining Hall or the Picture Gallery for our reception. I would again like to extend my thanks to you all for attending on this very special day. Would you now please all stand for the recession?